Okay, so I did a little short. I'm going to do the longer rant now. Just woke up and it's early morning here. It's a little dark. Um, there's a clip, a little post about a migrant caravan of, they're saying, oh, it's the largest, 15,000 people just left the southern border of Mexico and they're headed on up to America to come in. Now, I know this brings up a whole bunch of different topics. What do we do when we get them? Why are we letting all these people in? Are they good people? Are they bad people? Are they this, that, and the other? Stick all of that aside for a second. And I've kind of thought about this before, but it never really stuck. Or as far as, I don't think stuck is the right word. It didn't really impress me as much because I wasn't looking and thinking as detailed or in perspective wise. I think that's the better way to put it. I wasn't really getting the full perspective of the magnitude of the logistics in this. Okay, and I think it's important to note how seriously, there's no fucking way in the world this is some unorganized thing. Okay, there's no way. There is none. I said in the teaser, and I'm going to go over it. 15,000 people going from Mexico's southern border to the United States. That's roughly 1,850 miles. 1,800 miles. For those of you who can't really grasp that, here I'll give you another idea of how far that is. That's 2/3 away across the United States at the LA point. Okay, obviously we're bigger at top, smaller at the bottom. It's right at the midpoint. So from LA all the way over to Tennessee. Okay, you're going Tennessee. You're not far from North Carolina and see. You're 2/3. You're past Oklahoma. You are 2/3 of the way across the United States. Okay, 1,800 miles. Okay, and it hit me from a perspective because I know that my grandfather fought his way 1,400 miles. And that took him 9 months. Okay, he was fighting. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, how long is it going to take you to walk that? And you do the math out, and you think, okay, the average walk, 3 miles an hour. That's not bad. That's not a bad pace. It's actually a pretty good pace. And if you did that for 12 hours a day, it's going to take you 2 months. 12 hours a day. That's wake up, grab something to eat, march all day, eat again, go to sleep, crash. Wake up, do it again. Okay? And I'm thinking about that, and then part of this, that helped me with my perspective is being in the military and thinking about deployments and all the rest of these things that we've done. And the average military base, okay, being Air Force, okay, I've got like Travis Air Force Base there in California, Northern California. That's about 7,500 people. That's about half. Wright-Patterson, okay, over in Ohio, that's a huge military base. That's about 30,000 military people, okay, not civilians, just the military members, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, average military installation size, because that's like really big. This is kind of just little tiny thing. Average size military base, that's 15,000 military members. Can you imagine taking an entire military base and saying we are going to march 2/3 away across the United States? Okay, now forget the money part of this for half a second. Let's just talk about the logistics. First of all, you've got to have food. You've got to have water. You got to have boots. Okay, now I cheaped out and I went to Walmart and I grabbed a pair of those Brahmas, those crappy whatever boots. Cost me like 35, 40 bucks or something like that. Cheapo, nasty boots. Okay, you think these guys are affording, the really nice boots? Okay, are they getting cats? Are they getting trails? No, probably not. They're wearing tennis shoes. Imagine Walmart tennis shoes. These were boots from Walmart. Okay, so these are crappy ass boots given. Okay, but they're boots, so they're much tougher than tennis shoes. And I trekked those things one day. I just was like, okay, I gotta have to go from here to here, and it was a 6.5 mile walk. Okay, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Okay, and I trekked it. Took me about 2 hours. Now, that kind of matches here, so about 3 miles an hour. I got there, and those boots were destroyed. Okay, they were relatively brand new. Only owned them like a week. Okay, and I hadn't done much in them at all. Okay, they were barely broken in, and the soles were collapsed. Okay, and I had Dr. Scholl inserts I had put in those damn things, and the shoals, those were really wrecked. Sweat, pounding, that wears them suckers out fast. Okay, so they're going 2 months. You're talking about some serious, serious distances there. Okay, you're talking about you've got to have some really, really good boots or really, really good hiking shoes or tennis shoes or something. And most of these people are in tennis shoes. And most of them actually seem to be wearing relatively new fashion stuff and clean clothes and all the rest of that. And I want you to think about that. You are walking. You wake up in the morning, you eat something, you go 12 miles, walking 12 miles, and then eat something and crash out to sleep. How are you getting your food? Are you trucking it? 2 months worth of food? That's 2 months to go that distance dedicatedly, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 3 miles an hour. Okay? Where is that food coming from? How is it getting to you? Are people just standing on the side of the road like a marathon, passing out waters? To 15,000 people. Think about a pallet of water, okay? 15,000 people. A huge pallet of water, if not two, okay? Not sure how many are in it, but 2 pallets of water, 3 pallets of water a day that have to be staged out, okay? We're talking about like airlift drops and vehicle hauls and all kinds of stuff. First of all, how are they getting across Mexico? Pretty quick, okay? Even if they're doing, I'm sorry, but you're talking about, oh, these are women and kids and families, and yeah, we know a whole bunch of them are young men, but still, that's a really hefty haul, especially for something like that, okay? And thinking of how organized you have to be to have the resources available, clothes, showers if necessary, uh, food, water, just the basics. How would you have all of the shoes needed to do that kind of walking? I'm not kidding. Think about like old Wild West days of people in wagon trails. Okay, these were people in wagons riding horses, some of them walking, okay, crossing the United States. All right? And if you were leaving from, one of the most western colonies, of the United States, and you were headed for San Francisco for the 49er gold rush, okay? Um, how long did it take you? Even with a wagon trail, how long would it take you? Months to get across. Months that you're hauling your food in those wagons. You're hauling food, you're hauling flour, you're hauling all that stuff, not to mention the fact that while you're going, you are shooting and killing whatever animals you see to feed people. And that's just your small wagon trail. Dealing with a small group of people, that would be easy. 15,000 people. You can't shoot enough freaking coyotes and oh my God, there wouldn't be a chupacabra alive. They'd find them, they'd kill them, they'd eat them. Okay? The amount of organization that you would have to have in order for them to survive. Okay? All right? Now, there's all kinds of comments to be made on the human factor of people willing to go through that to get here. Okay? And now I'm not going to get into that part of it of whether they're good or bad or so forth, because yeah, they've been snagging some nasties out of those groups. But there's always going to be some kind of nasties in any kind of group. Doesn't matter what it is. You walk into a Safeway and there's a bunch of people. Some of them are nasties. Doesn't matter what the demographics are. But just looking at the logistics of it and then thinking, how the hell could you possibly be that organized? How could you be that organized if you were running away from the horrors of your country, of your previous country? Oh, this is so terrible. We have to leave. How are you that organized to have all the resources you need, to have everything on the go? I don't see these people like with radio flyer wagons behind them. Okay, I don't. They're not hauling anything. They're not bringing food and stuff with them. They're not carrying, bottles and bottles of water. You know, where is all this coming from? Okay, so it's not just a matter of, and yes, you do have to look at the idea of who the hell is funding it. How do you have the money for that much amount of resources? Okay, but where are those supplies coming from? How are those supplies getting to them? Who's doing that, and why is nobody sitting there and saying, okay, we went out to the caravan and we watched it for a day. We just wanted to see where the food was coming from. We wanted to see how they were getting water. How are these people getting here? You can't go more than a couple days without water, and you sure in the heck aren't going to march 12 hours all day long. I don't care how nice the roads are, okay, without water, without food, without something, okay? It's kind of crazy. So I would really like to know where the supplies are coming from. Just tell me who's providing them. Who's doing the supplies? Is it the Mexican government? Are they going, okay, we're going to have rest stops. We have a marching line set up for you guys just to get through our country, get the hell out. I don't care. Just tell me what's going on and how they're doing it. Okay? Because I don't see how 15,000 people could survive the trip. Okay? We're talking Pacheco Pass cannibalism type events here, people. There's no way they could do it without serious, coordinated efforts to bring in food and supplies. There's a seriously impressive level of crap going on, and nobody is mentioning where that crap comes from. Things to think about. I don't know. Catch you later. Done with the rant. Stay cool.